Alan,
Yes.
have you got the card there for Elimination Chamber?
I do have the card, and we are going to it's the Elimination Chamber Toronto. They've gone with the days of Elimination Chamber 2019. No, this one's straight up Elimination Chamber from the place they're having it, Toronto. Very similar to what happened with last year, where there was
The whole
just
lot.
elimination.
Wasn't it like Backlash France or was it Chamber Perth or something as well? Yeah.
Yep, that's what we got. It was so pretty much. Here's the card. Let's give it a bit of a talk and a rundown. We've got Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think this is just to get Trish on the show. She's part of that Legends deal that with Hunter, and yeah, it would just be two blondes take on a super Samoan lady and Candice LeRae with her blue hair, and I think they'll send everyone sort of happy during that match. So it'll probably be Stratton and Trish for the W on that one, and I think I would like to see Charlotte Flair on commentary for that one.
Okay, because I was kind of thinking I must have missed the whole build-up to this story. Like, as I said, on a Saturday, I don't religiously watch SmackDown. So I might go on Twitter and see, like, the main tweet of the show, like, oh, yeah, that's the main bit. And I'm like, when I went onto Wikipedia, I'm like, oh, that's the card. I'm like, when did this match get booked? And why is that happening? And then I'm like, as you said, oh, yep, Canada, Trish is a star. It would make sense to bring her there. I did see that funny thing on SmackDown of people saying the missed spot there by Nia, doing that splash where she kind of just gently sat down. And then I thought, guys, if she really jumped like Yoko used to do, it will hurt you. Like, she doesn't want to hurt that person that she's jumping onto. She knows she could. That's why she kind of gently does it. And it's up to the camera crew to kind of shoot that differently. Yeah, that's right. But I was like, oh, that's a weird spot. And how they aired that on the TV. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
She bounced off Trish. And you could tell that she's like... And again, Stratton was there. There's Trish is on top of her. And she's coming down. And again... Trish is one of those legends of the sport. She's done fantastic. I remember when you and I were watching wrestling heavily to watch her come in, and then she was the manager, and then she became that big thing with Vince McMahon, and then she became the wrestler, and she was just badass after that. Then her heel run was fantastic as well, and then she went back to doing the face, and then she did it all over again just a few years ago. It was really cool. But again, Nia, I think, has been painted with that brush so many times, like, oh, careful, she'll hurt you. She's hurt people before, but then when she's done this lightly bounced on her, she's like, dude, that was a missed spot. I was like, she didn't want to kill her. Yeah, she could have squished both of them if she really wanted to, but she was like, no, I don't want to hurt Trish. She's a legend, and I don't want to hurt Stratton because she's a work colleague. I don't do that anymore. I don't come to work to sit on and crush my peers. So no.
And you and I had a good laugh the other day too. We were talking about when that time Nia and Charlotte got into that puncher, just where it's like, don't do it, and it's like, whoa, and they're like, it's a shove, and then it's a real throw, and you're like, is this real, man? What's going on here?
They're pulling each other's hair. They're going for real shots. Like Nia's like, don't, bitch, and then
because she's holding her by the hair with the fist ready, and she goes, don't do it.
Yeah, because if she could, she would have gone severe Becky Lynch on her ass. She could have broken her face. She would have, the facials that's changed on Charlotte, she would have just gone, and the whole face would have crumbled. But I remember watching that going, don't, and it was like, oh fuck, they're really fighting here. What the fuck's going on?
You picked up the pillow, squeezed the pillow. What's going on? What are they doing?
I think other people were trying to cover up with the pillow more than anything. What?
You know you're wrestling well.
Yes. Hello.
I'm going to agree with you. I would say Charlotte on commentary would be good to plant the seed for the eventual matchup for WrestleMania. But on that, what would you think about if Charlotte didn't choose Tiffany, and we would have got Charlotte Rhea at WrestleMania this time in front of people?
I would have liked it. That would have been cool. But they've done it before. It would have been good to see the rubber band because, again, first match, Charlotte picked up the win and won the NXT Women's Championship from Rhea. before she went gothic, before she went hardcore. And then they had that great match at Mania as well too. And they beat the living shit out of each other. And Rhea picked up the win, which was great. But I would have loved to see them wrestle again for that third time, like for that rubber band match, like who's the better out of the two. But I think because they're doing the story now of here's this legend that is Charlotte Flair, and she's beneath everyone. You know, she's the queen. Bow down to the queen. And you got this young up and starter in Tiffany Stratton, who gangbuster became a massive fan favorite. And it's very much like watching Ashley Flair in her NXT times, where she was very much doing that. She was trying to, like, yes, my last name is Flair, but I don't want to live under the robe of Flair. I want to be my own person. So I think that's sort of the student master type of aspect there of just like, again, Charlotte's, I've done it all and I can do it all, and you've got nothing on me, little girl. I can pick up that title and take it for me because it's my belt. I can do whatever I want. She's very much molded into that ego of that Flair ego, which is great to see.
It's interesting too, like when she won it was like my first thought was, okay, we're getting something different because it's a different opponent, but really she's beaten everybody. And as you've said, she's done everything, sometimes twice over. So it's like she's done the lap, she's done another lap, she's coming up to lap 3 now. So Tiffany is new, but where does this go after this? Do they do the brand extension, restructure, move it to Raw, do some Raw stuff? Do they move Rhea to SmackDown, tell some new stories? But I think that'll be a great matchup. What's match number 2?
We've got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez for the Women's Championship. For the Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 41. And that's inside of the Elimination Chamber. We were just talking about this about half an hour ago. I wouldn't mind seeing Alexa Bliss get this win. Because I want her to get the Wyatt 6 on her side. They're on the same show, I think. They are.
They're kind of jumping everywhere.
Yeah, they are. But we need sort of that sister Abigail, the mama. She was the mama of the Wyatt. When she was with Bray, she was his second half, and you sort of want. And she goes, "I love to play in the chamber," so she's going to go in there and kick ass and take names. I'd love to see her get the win, but again, you've got the Wyatt 6 on her side there. Then again, you got Ura Sky and Rhea on Raw for the championship. Rhea's going to win. It's going to be a hard-hitting match, and it'll be great. But then just to have the gothic mama that she is, that Rhea is, and now she's going up against someone who's like Harley Quinn style, but round up to 11, and she's got this band of misfits following her every lead that she goes. And Uncle Howard is right next to her. It's like, hey, you worked with my brother, I will work with you, and we will do everything we can to make you champion. So
and you think visually how cool that entrance would look at WrestleMania?
Oh yeah.
Because I heard somewhere that Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy's actually injured. So it would make sense for her to kind of fit that role where she's like the person that can compete for the team. But you can imagine that whole carnival-style entrance at WrestleMania. Oh, yeah. The twirly lights, almost like when we did Batman Returns, like the Penguins community, the twirly umbrellas, the twisted side to it. Like the Mania stage would look fantastic with that. Yeah. So are you going Alexa? Bliss. That's your pick? Okay. I'll say the same. I think the storylines coming out of it, Naomi and Bianca, will set up their possible breakdown. I think with possibly Jade Cargill making a return. Will she call out? Was it one of them that did the attack? There's your Mania matchup. Yep. I think Bayley's focusing more on the NXT stuff. I've seen her on NXT recently doing some stuff there. So I wouldn't say her being the pick. I don't see Liv because I think we've done Liv Rhea a lot. I would like to see a cap off, but I think them having that matchup on the first Raw on Netflix was the end of the feud. I don't see Roxanne Perez stepping into that spotlight yet. So I'm going to say Alexa Bliss and Rhea, and I think they'll put on a great matchup for the women's world title.
Again, it's one of those big power jug, take a sip of water, we make movies.
Yeah.
It's just that, Rhea's standing in the ring. She comes out first. The champion never comes out, but she comes out first. Because, again, she's going to have her band playing for her. And then we're just going to go down by the bayou with a little bit of craziness and a little bit of Harlequin style. And out comes the Wyatt Six, alongside with Bliss. And they're like, Sister Abigail, Mama, you're going to win this. This is like something out of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to make sure that Mama wins this. So she's the true leader now. The whole time it was her. It wasn't Bray. It was her. So she was the brains behind the opera. And
it would be cool.
Yeah, it would be very cool to see.
Yeah.
Remember there are 4 matches on this card too. Because again, you've got the 2 chamber matches. Also, talking about Rock and Cody, because Rock said Rock is going to be there, and he wants Cody's answer. He wants him to say, "Hey, what are you doing? Are you going to come work with me? Do I need to take your soul?" But after that, I would believe, or what was happening, it's a non-sanctioned match, and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Wow.
I think the only way this match ends is legit someone like getting. That's how someone's going to.
Yeah.
That's the only way that they're going to stop the match is by someone is so. Like they're not going to do it again, but it's going to be like I don't think Sam is coming. He's not getting back up.
Yeah,
he's legit. He is not moving. He is incapacitated whatsoever. He cannot move. Or and Kevin just goes over the massive deep end. Like he goes Steen. We see Kevin Steen return, and he's out for blood, and he's going to do horror things to Sammy.
Yeah. Well, we both talked about it at the Royal Rumble. That we said that quote was, it's like with Johnny Gargano and Ciampa. It's like Owens and Zayn. You can't have them together. Like someone has to go. Like their stories are always going to be intertwined with each other. But really, it only will work if one is permanently gone. Yes. I thought this match was going to be WrestleMania. I thought this theme of like unsanctioned, I was thinking Last Man Standing. I also heard rumours that there's talks of Hell in the Cell appearing at this year's WrestleMania, and that it might be these guys. Like, do you do this match, which then sets up a final match? So I'm surprised that they're even doing this on the card. And then I thought, well, they're in Canada, 2 Canadian stars that they're known for being there, it would make sense to do it. But I was still thinking we're going to get a rematch at Mania to finish it. But unsanctioned, no rules, anything goes. I don't think we're going to get a bloodbath. I think we'll get some ladder spots, some table spots. And one idea that I had, do we get the old Steen pole driver into the turnbuckle? The one where he grabs him and just chucks him in. Do we get that spot? Which I love seeing that gif of going on social media of just... I don't know if it's Adam Cole. Part of me thinks it was Adam Cole that's actually getting that move from Kevin Steen at the time where he gets the buckle bomb. Do we get that in this matchup? I don't know. I literally don't know with this matchup where it's going to go. So,
I same here, but I'm going to go with Kevin, and I don't think we're going to see Sammy for a while. I think he might hurt him that bad, but then again, Sammy might go out, and then he maybe on the night of WrestleMania 1 or 2, he makes an appearance, and again, they have this wild ass match at Mania in the Hell in a Cell or a ladder match, for the pink slip, for someone's contract, I climb up here, I win, you leave WWF, WWE, you don't come back, we're done. But yeah, it's probably going to be very disturbing to watch, which I'm looking forward to. And then you got the big main event here. It's Cena, Punk, Drew, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins for a championship match, the Undisputed Championship match in the Chamber for WrestleMania 41. And I'm going with Cena on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I want Cena probably go in, take everyone on, hit a couple of FUs, and pick up the win. And then as everyone's celebrating in the crowd, yay, woo, 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 here comes The Rock. And he walks to him, looks him in the eye, and out comes Cody. And they stand next to each other. Like a McMahon, Austin craziness back in the day. And look at him, and seeing his hair just beads of, he could bust it up, or he's bleeding, or he's sweating, and just stands there. And then if you look behind him, you've got Seth and Punk. So he's got some backup, somewhat. And they're all looking at each other. Or you just have everyone in the chamber all look at each other and go, what the fuck's going on now? What did Cody seriously just sell his soul to the devil of the final boss? So he knows that Cena will not be winning. But yeah, Cena for the win.
So what stories do you think are going to come out? Because when I look at that, I think, okay, they did that great moment with Roman and Seth at the Rumble. There's talks of Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania. Does Roman get involved in this match and take out Seth? I don't see. I would love Punk to win, because I would love to see Punk Cody a main event of WrestleMania. But I still see the Logan Paul storyline being something. Yeah. Even CM Punk has come out recently. I think it was even the day of the Rumble, or like a couple of days after. He said, I wouldn't mind if I didn't win. I think I can tell better stories without that win. So it's like, okay, so I don't think Punk's probably ever going to win a Royal Rumble now. So that leaves it open to Punk Paul at WrestleMania.
That'd be
interesting
cool.
Type of matchup. I don't know where Drew then fits into it, because I don't see Drew winning this. I see Drew being a good opponent for Cody, but not at WrestleMania. Damian Priest, I think, is just filling a seat that will be a pretty early elimination. I don't see him feuding with anyone from this storyline coming out of this matchup. But then Cena, I'm looking at that thing, and who wins? Cena Punk, the final two. But I do like what you're saying with that idea of Cena gets the win, Rock comes out, puts the hand like this, Cody's song hits, he comes out, and it's like, oh wow. But what Cody is this? Is this a face Cody? Is this a heel Cody? What's it going to look like? Because even then, we're still 3 to 4 weeks out from Mania.
We are.
What are we going to see in that story after that? So I'll say a Cena win, but then again, does Cena win the title? I don't know. It's surprising that when you look at that card too, because each chamber is going to be, 40 minutes long. Yes. So that's an hour and a half just in those two matches, and then you've got the two other matches. So you probably will get, 2.5 hours of wrestling, so I don't actually see them adding, most likely, anything else to that card.
I know that the Rock and Cody promo is probably going to be a half an hour long. Yeah. We're going back to the Authority Days opening Raw and just yapping about absolute dog shit. So that's what's going to happen here. And there'll be a lot of moments of Rock just going, showing the arm, listening to the crowd, being a face to the crowd, and then turning it around and being a heel. We'll see him do that all the time. But you were going back to seeing what could be potential for the future. I see Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre doing a program together.
That would be good, actually. Yeah, I didn't even think that. That would be a good one. Yeah.
Logan Paul and CM Punk doing a program together. That'd be great. And then, yes, Roman, he's not out. He's going to come back, and he needs to take on his former Shield brother, because he's the responsible one for why he lost the title last year to Mania. And again, Seth hates his freaking guts. He tells him all the time. He gave him those 2 double stomps at the Rumble, which was just wild. But yeah, I can see them having a program at Mania. And
I was just looking at the gap there. I was thinking, is there going to be anything in between Mania, Chamber and Mania? And it doesn't look like there's going to be a Saturday night's main event at all. So no, that's it. It's the last stop then, I think. So, interesting. No, that should be good. Yeah. So that goes down. That's next Sunday, I think you were saying. Because again, in Australia, guys, we get our shows before you guys, but a day differently. I think with time. So.
Yeah, time-wise. Basically, we get it at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, just at our lunchtime, where you guys have it at 8 o'clock on your Saturday night.